I've got tag ideas for your junk journal today. I have so many fun ideas for you. I've got hidden tags, pockets, layered tags, embossed tags, inked tags, and the one tag idea that I just cannot get enough of. Here we go, y'all. Well, hello and welcome to Pink Paper Peppermints. My name is Melissa and I'm so glad you're here today. We are beginning the 4th week of the My Heart of Thanksgiving event, and my journal is huge and I still have another week to go. If you don't know what My Heart of Thanksgiving is, there's some information on the screen for you there, and you can go to pinkpaperpeppermints.com and sign up, and it's not too late to join us. You can still get some goodies in your email for this last week. So I'm showing you how huge my journal is, and I wanted to show you these paper clips my friend Michelle sent me for my birthday. She made them from the pattern paper from the kit that you see on the screen there, and she printed it on printable fabric, and I don't know if she has a tutorial. She's probably in the live chat, so Michelle, if you have a tutorial for that, can you let us know in the live chat? So I am so excited to show you all the pages. I'm just going to show you what I did last week on my week 2 prompt card. This is the giant journaling tag, and I've wrapped it around the page so that it folds down, and sewed a vintage crochet doily on it. And I made this little tag and stamped the word supply, and I'll show you that some more in just a minute. And then I made some layered tags here at the top. I inked and embossed this house-shaped tag because of the verse that is on that. And then I inked and embossed and added a shipping tape transfer to this tag, and I'm going to show you how to do that just quickly here in a minute. But that's what I've done for my week 2 prompt. So to show you what I did with this tag, first of all, I embossed a piece of paper, and then I ran it through my Big Kick and cut a tag out of the embossed paper. And so once that was done, I added some ink and dried it all up and got this pretty tag. And then I added my image transfer. And so what I've done is taken some ephemera from the ephemera kit and burnished it onto a piece of packing tape. And I've got a video that I will link you below. And once you do that, you wash the backing off. This is actually a clip from that other video. You're going to wash that paper backing off, and then you get this clear transfer of your piece of ephemera on this packing tape. And so the next thing that you can see that there's a little crinkle in that's what happens if you get a crinkle in it when you put it down. I don't mind because I want it to look distressed, but if you don't want that in there, you just need to make sure it's really smooth. And then I'm just going to take a piece of sandpaper and actually distress it more because I wanted some more scratches and holes in it. And you're going to see why here in just a minute. So I'm just going in and roughing that up a little bit with my sandpaper. And then what I want to do is take this gold powder. I guess this is like pigment powder. I got it at Michael's, and it's Recollections brand. And I'm just rubbing it over the back of the tape. Now the tape is still sticky, so this powder is sticking to it, and it's kind of hard to see, but it looks really, really pretty, and I'll show you that in a minute. So I typed a sentiment on, this is just a glassine bag that I got some mail in, and I typed it on that. And here's that packing tape transfer, and I don't know if you can see it, but that gold just shines through everywhere that I distressed and scratched. That image, the gold powder shines through, and I really, really like that. And there's my little glassine piece with my sentiment on it. And then for that other tag, I just stamped the word supply with these stamps, and I will link those below if you like those stamps. They're so cute. They're like cross stitch. And I stamped them on some seam binding ribbon. The stamp wasn't quite as crisp because the ink kind of bled into the ribbon, but I still thought it looked really pretty. So this is a die that I cut, again, embossed and cut, and I'm drying it up there, inking it up and drying it up, and some hymnal pages that I'm inking and drying up. And I was going to create a tag from this, but once it was finished, I kind of wanted to just use it as an embellishment on my page. I added some brown to that top one because it looked like it needed a little more contrast. So, and I will link the colors that I used below of the inks. And so then I'm just going to layer these all up to create a little embellishment. That is a piece from the ephemera from the kit. And I've got this sequined tulle, which I will link that below as well. I found this shop that carries it, and it is so cool. I love it so much. And I'm going to layer it up with my little arches here and my wings and my word art. And one of the things that I did, if you saw, I think it was last week's video, I showed how to pop up by using just a little piece of paper that you accordion fold, and that's what I did on that second arch, which I'm kind of showing you there, is I just did a little pop up there so that it would be kind of stand up from that tool. And then I'm just going to use my art glitter glue to glue my die cut and my word art down, and it's all complete. So now I want to show you this really fun layered tag that you can make. And I'm using these giant journaling tags. I painted the back of them with some gold metallic paint and sprinkled some white ink on them. And to do the layered tag, all you're going to do is take your tags and layer them up. You can use the same amount of space between each one, or you can leave some larger and some smaller, depending on what you want to do with it. I'm going to do mine all the same size. Once you get them all layered up like this, you're going to decide how tall you want it. Now, I want mine to be the height of my page, so I'm just laying it on the page and measuring out where that I want it to be, and I'm just going to cut it across the top there at the top of the page. And so I've done that here, and the left side is what I'm going to use for my tag, and then the right side is the scraps. And that, obviously, you can take those scraps and make something really cool with those too. You could sew them up, or you could make another layered tag. So I've got these ready, and I'm just going to fold it in half and not press it, but then cut the corners off to create my tag shape. And you guys have seen me do that before, I think. And then I'm going to sew it across the top on my machine. And I've got this layer tag, and it's all ready to fill up with all kinds of lace and goodies in between the layers. So this is the page right before that. It's my prompt page, and I just wanted to show you how I attached a journal card to it to make kind of a little hidden pocket there. Behind that, I have some tags and things, and I will probably be adding more to that pocket. And then this is my week 3 prompt card, and it's on a giant journaling tag. And when you fold it down, I was going to use crochet for all the pockets on these, but my book is just getting so thick that I thought I better switch to lace so it was a little bit flatter. So here's another embossed and inked tag that I have on the inside of that pocket. And then you can see there my layered tag is sewn to my book on the top, and it's got all these pretty layers that I can go in now and decorate and add things to. And if you wanted to add lace to those, you might want to do that before you sew them together. It would be a little bit easier. So on the other side, I have my mini acorn book, which is from the November kit, and I'll show that to you on the screen here in just a minute. You can see I did a little leaf stitch at the top of those, and it came out so pretty. So this is my mini acorn book, and I haven't actually worked in it yet. I just got it put together and wanted to tuck it into the book, so I remembered to use it because I just think it's so cute and want to fill that up with some fun stuff. And so now I want to show you another fun tag to make. And this is a technique that I cannot get away from. It's just one of my favorites, and that is mini matchbooks. So I'm sorry if you're tired of mini matchbooks from me, but I've printed ledger paper, which you saw on the screen there, on the back of this giant tag, and I'm just folding it into a matchbook shape. So I'm going to fold up the bottom and fold down the top. And instead of making this a book, though, I'm going to do something a little different. I've added a doily here, and I'm going to use some of that sparkly tulle again and sew it to the inside of my matchbook. I'm going to sew around 3 sides so that I can make a shaker from the inside of this. So you can see I accidentally glued that doily to the wrong side. You want to glue it to the back and not the flap. And so I just tore it off because that's not going to show, and re-glued it. And then you're going to staple the bottom because you want to be able to tuck your matchbook into that little flap at the bottom. And so what I'm going to do is fill this tulle up now with sequins and glitter and make a shaker out of it. And you'll see when I shake it here in a minute that I actually had a hole. You see the sequins flying. I had a little hole in my tulle, so make sure that you sew all the way around when you do that and don't have any holes. And so then when you open it, you've got this fun shaker, and you could add pages to it if you wanted to. I'm going to leave mine like that, but I think I might add a verse, type a verse on some paper, and then glue it to the top of this. I haven't decided yet. So I wanted to decorate the outside, and I fussy cut these roses from that milk label that's in the ephemera kit, and I just added them to some doily and added some sequins to kind of give you a preview of what's going to be inside when you open it. I'm just going to tuck it in that pocket there, and I think it came out really pretty. I just love Matchbook so much. So this is a quick page idea you can do with tags. These are 3 tags that come in the ephemera kit, and I've just sewn them together lengthwise and then sewed them to another piece of paper, and I've got a new page to add into my book, and I think it looks really cute. I'm going to add lots of ribbon to the ends of the tags that will poke out the side of my book, and I think that's going to be really pretty. So this one, I'm going to use the giant journaling tags again, only this time what I'm going to do is something a little different. I'm not going to use them as tags. I'm kind of going to use them as little gatefolds or doors on this tag. Now this was a tag that I inked on some watercolor paper, and so I'm going to take these giant journaling tags and I'm just going to wrap them around the tag, and I'm doing the tag part on the right on this one, and then on the other one I'll have it on the left. You'll see what I mean here in a minute. And you could leave these open and just glue the edges, but I'm going to glue the whole back because I didn't decorate the back of my tag, so I'm just going to glue the whole back of those. And then once that's glued down, when you open it, you've got 2 little gatefolds there. And I printed ledger paper on the back of these tags as well. And then I typed the lyrics from our hymn this week, which is "Turn Your Eyes Upon Jesus," on some vintage onion skin paper, and glued that down to the center of my tag. Now I've got this chunky fabric that I love, and I'm going to use that to make a big chunky tab at the top of my tag here. I'm going to add some pom-pom trim on the bottom, and I've got these vintage recipe cards, and I'm going to cut these out and make pockets out of them. And in the pockets, I'm going to make some little tags. Now this is my manila tag set of the shipping tags, and they come in all different sizes from giant all the way down to little itty bitty tags. And these are really fun because you can print on them. You print them out and then you run them back through your printer, and you can print different things on them. You can type on them. They're just like these little blank canvases, and I think they're really fun. The thing that I love to do with them, because I print them on printer paper that's thin, when you emboss them, they really pick up the embossing in a really pretty way. So this is my tag completed. You can see I've got my pockets sewn in, and these are my little manila tags, and you can see what I mean about the embossing. When you emboss cardstock, you just don't get quite this impression as you do when you do plain paper. It's really thick and it almost distresses the edges. I don't know if you can kind of see the white on the edges, and I just love that look. So I'm going to add some ribbon and things to those later. Well, this is your printable prize. If you are watching this live this morning on Saturday, November 13th, I will be linking this prize in the chat. If you're watching it any other time, this will be in the shop, but it's a tag page wrap. And you could also use it as the cover of a mini book. And you're just going to wrap it around, you're going to cut it out and wrap it around the pages of your journal, and it becomes like a little tag page in your book. The other thing that you could do is you could add some pages to it to make a little mini book, like I said before, or you could fold up that bottom part to make pockets and make it like a little pocket tag that you slip into your book. So now I'm going to show you this one. I am using my very favorite piece of ephemera, I think, from the kit. This is a giant bread loaf bag, shrunken down mini. And what I'm going to do is create a little hidden pocket and tag journaling spot here on my page. And I'm using this vintage wallpaper paper from the Pockets and Labels set. And I'm going to cut it to size so that when you fold that bread bag over, you see the inside of that wallpaper, and we're going to create a pocket there. I'm going to use some vintage onion skin typing paper to create the pocket, and then there'll be a hidden pocket underneath that. And this is left over from that hymnal verse that I typed earlier. And so I'm just going to sew around 3 sides to create my tag pocket. I also found this scrap of linen with this pretty pink crochet lace, and I'm going to sew that to the edge of the page so that it peeks out from underneath the pocket. So I've got that sewn on. You can see I trimmed it down a little bit and used a zigzag stitch to sew it on, and then I've sewn my onion skin paper to create my pocket around the edge. And then I'm going to glue this down instead of sew it because I want to add in some ribbon so that I can tie my little hidden pocket closed. Now you could also use one of those little magnet closures or some Velcro, but I thought ribbon would be pretty. So I'm going to glue that down to create that. And I've done that here. So I've got my little closure here, and when you undo the ribbon, you can pop it open and you see your hidden pocket. I created a very tall tag and it's blank on the back, so I can journal on that. And I could also journal on that onion skin paper. And then I've got my little hidden pocket beneath where I can tuck in some tags and things. So I hope that you have enjoyed all these fun tag ideas, and I want to let you know, if you're playing the Bonanza game, that your letter and number is number 2 and letter I as in ice cream, 2I, if you're playing along with the Bonanza game. So thank you so much for joining me. Make sure and give me a thumbs up if you liked the video, or maybe share it with a crafty friend. And I hope you have a week filled with peace and grace, and I will see you next time on Pink Paper Peppermints.